Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Back again. I've already done a live today, so this is my second one.
Lots of good stuff to share. It's perfect.
Yes, yes. Thank you for agreeing to join me in this, Danielle.
Oh, absolutely. I always love talking with you, Lavinia.
Yeah. And well, the purpose for our meeting today, so to speak, is that I want to share more of what I couldn't share 4 years ago in this way. And which is the energy that we have as ASEA ambassadors. Well, I like to call it ambassadors rather than associates. But I truly believe, because with ASEA started my own developing and healing journey, so to speak. I wouldn't even be here, honestly, if I didn't join ASEA like 4 years ago, and seeing all of you, joining all of you over the Zooms and all of that. And I'd like to bring this energy to to everyone through this. And there's no better person than you, actually.
Well,
This
it's a
way.
beautiful intention. I love it.
Yeah. And well, I'd like to talk today about we are both sciencey people and also spiritual ones, but we started as sciencey people. And well, this is like very unconventional, this type of business, promoting, because in the end it's we are promoting. And how come? How have we come here? Well, I
Yeah.
know my story. I know your story. I'd like to share, like, together this.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, if you were to ask me, I don't know, like when I was a teenager and what I wanted to do, I've always been curious about the body. So, like, I have always been curious about how things work, why things work the way that they do. Like, people have described me as like a little puppy. Like, I'm just like, oh, what's this and what's this and what's that? Like, I just absolutely love to discover things. And so I think that sort of runs in the background of just how I operate. And I always also am seeking, like, I've always been seeking something bigger. I think that's where spirituality sort of came into my life, because I've asked the bigger questions of, like, well, why am I here? And what's the purpose of all of this? And, what am I meant to spend my time doing while I'm on this planet? And that the questions that you ask will result in the life that you live. I always, one of my mentors said to me one time, Danielle, yep, the quality of your questions will reflect the quality of your business and your life. And I thought, it's very true. And I've always asked bigger questions. So I think that sort of, because that's been running in my background, Lavinia, it has led me down certain paths. Like, I went to school. I'm here in the United States, so I went to school at the University of Virginia, which is, it's like a top public school here in the US. And I was wanting to study biology because originally I wanted to go to medical school. So, not unlike you, which I think is why we resonate so much. I was like, yeah, I want to be able to help people. I think that was sort of it. It was like, well, I'm fascinated by the body. Like, it's incredible how it can heal itself. Like, I want to learn more about it. And I want to help people, like, retain their health. And then I got to school and it was like the organic chemistry and this class and that class. And I was like, why do I want to be in school for like the next decade? I think I'm a little burned out on that.
Yeah.
And, but I had already taken so many courses, right, in like the sciences, that I just said, well, I'm going to go for a degree in biology. And then I like took a minor in environmental sciences. So that was kind of my background. And I left school. I was planning to go to graduate school, but I took like a little bit of gap time. And I did a program called Teach for America, which it just puts you in a low income area somewhere in the United States. It's either rural or urban, and you go and you teach. And you give 2 years. And I thought, that's like a nice thing to do. I've always loved teaching. Like, there was something like I saw like a flyer on our campus. I always remember that. And talking about like Teach for America was coming and people were going to be talking about it. And so I went to the auditorium that evening, just like by myself. And I sat kind of towards the back and I got goosebumps, like head to toe. And it was like such a clear yes. I wasn't so spiritual at this point. I didn't understand my intuition. Like, none of that was sort of on the radar. But I just knew, like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's very competitive. I think like 40,000 people applied like my year. And, a very small percentage of those people get in. But I got in and I got placed in Denver, Colorado. And I was like living the best life. teaching, and I really enjoyed it. And I thought, you know what, I actually had wanted to stay on for a third year of teaching, but my life took just a 180. I was in a bad car accident and lost my health, and that opened up this whole other journey, which has led me kind of to where I am now. And it's fascinating because, you know, I think, well, having lost my health, I lost everything. Like I lost my ability to work because I had a brain injury. So I couldn't drive. I couldn't focus. I couldn't handle light noise. I mean, I couldn't do much of anything. I was basically in a dark room. And so I lost my income. And that I'll come back to, because that was like losing your health is one thing, but losing your independence and your ability, like my whole life, it's always like I've been able to create and to do. And so I started working as soon as I was able to work. You know, I was babysitting. And then once I was legally allowed to work, I got a job. Like I bought my first car. Like I've always just been like a doer. And all of a sudden, like I couldn't. And I was stuck in bed for, you know, over a year, about 2 years, that I was really very sick. And when you're alone with yourself for that long, talk about questions that you ask. I started to really reflect a lot more on life. And I ultimately, this is where my spirituality came in, and I started to be just more connected, realizing like, hey, there's a bigger purpose to all of this. Like I'm running around trying to produce in this world, but there's like a way bigger reason that my soul is here and the journey that I'm on. And I started to really get to know myself, which cleared out anxiety, depression, like confidence issues I used to have. It was just a very introspective time, and changed me forever, you know, kind of changed me to my core. So a little bit of my background. And then, you know, Asea's sort of entry point was because of my health. So I originally looked at Asea because I was struggling with my health. Doctors had kind of, the medical community basically looked at me, and they said to me, what we can really do for your condition, it's just your new normal, and you need to adjust your life around it. And I was like, well, the heck with that. Like, there's no way. And I found Asea through an acupuncturist. It just kind of, that's like a whole other story, but started using it, totally skeptical, thinking it was a waste of money, a waste of time. I hadn't learned about it in my biology classes. So I was like, wow, it's not legit.
None of us do.
And it turns out it is real, very real. And it's like groundbreaking, and it changed my life. So within like 3 months, I started to regain like the ability to concentrate. I started to not have the pounding in my head. I started to have energy again, like just to have hope again. Like my personality came back. I was happy again. Like it was unbelievable. But I had asked myself a really big question, which was like, okay, what do you want to do with your life? I felt like I got a second lease on life. And I don't think a lot of people in their 20s stop and, you know, consider how fragile life is. But I couldn't unknow it. It was like, well, tomorrow's not guaranteed, period, full stop. Like I was doing nothing wrong. I was hit by a drunk driver at 7 a.m. Like it shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. And anything could happen to any of us at any point. And so I just went, all right, well, what do I want to spend my time doing? And I had spent like 2 years on the sidelines of life, which was a very weird place for me to be, right? Because usually I was competing and I was winning and I was like doing everything in life. And to be on the sidelines was a wild experience because I was watching my friends like go on to medical school. Several of them did. I watched some of my friends go on to Yale, to Harvard, to business school. Like I had friends that were incredibly intelligent. And I'm just watching. And then I was watching my other friends that sort of went the career path, didn't go on to graduate school, but they were, you know, doing well in their careers. And they were all miserable. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I was watching and I'm like, they're not actually happy, you know? And they're having to juggle, like, oh, I only have this much time off. Well, who am I going to see? Or I want to travel, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And I was like, what are they living for? You know? And it was like a very clear, like, well, they're living for what society is telling them they should be doing. And like, who the hell came up with those rules? And, you know, like, it's no way to live. It's just no way to live. And I thought, you know, I would be going back to graduate school or like, you know, getting a job. And I remember friends of mine saying like, oh, now that you're better, like, you know, get back on the wagon, right? Like you got to apply to graduate school, like, let's go. And I was like, I just, I don't fit in that world anymore. Like, I'm not going back.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
Yeah. Well, share yours, because it's like you too. It's like you were on this track, and then all of a sudden, you just like wake up one day. You know, for me, it was an accident. For you, more of like a realization where you're like, well, this isn't for me. Like, there's got to be more.
Yeah, actually, I think I kind of knew it even before going to med school, because here comes in mind the spirituality and stuff like that. I've always been spiritual, but that stuff was very brought down in me, like it wasn't nurtured. So I was a doer, but because the people around me told me that I could do, that I should do, that I'm the good girl who achieves a lot. So that's how I got to med school. And don't get me wrong, I want to help people. It's in my nature. I've just realized, I think it was last week or 2 weeks before that, I believe that I'm getting close to my purpose, which is holding the space, which is actually what I talked about today in the life before. Holding the space, recognizing others, seeing others, and allowing them to flourish, to nurture, to support. And well, I don't think med school teaches you how to hold that space for people. And this is what I've realized now. Back then, it was a struggle. Like the first 2 years in Romania, you just do 6 years of, like, it's 6 years of medical school, and that's it. There's no pre-med or college. There should be, actually. So people would get would get a better thinking. But once you get in, like, you need to finish those 6 years. And the first 2 years are preclinical, like basic sciences. And you don't do rotations, you don't go in the hospital. Oh, I think I lost you. Danielle froze a bit. Let me see if I can get her back. Well, we lost Danielle a bit. It's okay. I think she'll come back.
Oh, there we
Okay.
are. What happened?
I think it froze for a bit.
It's like connection lost, reconnecting. There you go with live video. I don't know what happened.
Okay. So where was I? That the preschool, yeah, the pre-med, the basic sciences. And I actually enjoyed that because, as you said, I was learning about the body, how everything works. And it really gave me like, wow, I have all this insight. I can help people now and explain them. And I got to third year of medical school, starting to do rotations, and everything just fell apart. And I was thinking like, I actually shared this with Natalia as well. I was doing actually in the respiratory section, it was the module, and we were attending people, and they have been having these problems, these issues for years, and they were still getting sick and sick and sick, and nothing. Like, what are we doing? Are we keeping them on a roll? Like, what's this? It made no sense. It made no sense for me how we were taught to approach sick people. We weren't taught to look for the root, let alone giving a solution for the root problem. And from there, it was just going in depression. In the fourth year, I wanted to leave med school altogether. And well, I went back because, well, I had to finish what I started. And actually, it gives me an edge, so to speak, because when I came across Asea in 2020, and it took me one Zoom with Dr. Silverman, his weekly Zoom, and it made sense. It just clicked, and I said, "This is what we need. Like, this is what we should do for people as doctors." So I didn't have a severe health issue or something that I needed to solve from a health point of view. It just made sense for me. from being a doctor, getting out of med school, and not knowing, well, how am I going to be a doctor like this? Like,
Right.
this is not what I want to do. So that's why I got involved, and I got involved wanting to help with the technology, and the opportunity and the sharing part of it. Well, it knocked me down. Come on, I had to reframe and get rid of beliefs and Jesus.
Yeah.
It was, and I just wanted to do it. Like, it didn't care for me. I was telling myself, like, I don't care. I just want to share this.
Mhm.
I was just exposing myself to all the trainings that we were doing, and you've been so amazing. Been holding the space, actually, and you still hold it for all of us. And for that, I'm really grateful, because I can be here now.
Mhm.
To
Seeing your growth has been amazing. I think, if someone's not going to go like a traditional route, I think there's like this freeze of like, well, what do I do and what can I do?
Yeah.
And, there's so many different side hustles and stuff happening in this day and age with the internet and social media and blah, blah, blah. But what I love about network marketing, which Asea, right, is being brought to the
Yeah.
world through word of mouth. They will not do it any other way. So it's like, love it or hate it, this is the model. And I didn't have a good view of network marketing, I'll say, like, because my mom, when I was trying to figure out what I want to do next, my mom was like, Asea, like, you should do Asea, you should share Asea. I'm like, network marketing is sleazy, I don't want to be involved with that, like, no thank you. And she's like, what is that based on? Like, what is that based on? And I'm like society, like, ask anybody on the street, they'll tell you. And she's like, and what is their opinion based on? And I'm like, I don't know, it's just like a known fact. And she's like, no, it's not. Like, go for yourself, go meet these people, and go meet the people that are involved with the company. And so I did. Like, to her credit, she really pushed me. And this was the second time in my life I've had goosebumps all over. I sat in the room and I listened to Tyler Norton, the founder of Asea, speak for 8 hours. He spoke 8 hours. And each hour was on a piece of their ethos, which I didn't even know what the hell that word meant before I showed up there.
Me neither.
And it turns out it's everything. I mean, that's the spiritual side of business. It's like the soul of a corporation. And he was explaining what the soul of Asea was, like who Asea was at its core. And I had goosebumps the whole time. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm like, Mom, is this real? And she's like, I've been trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. And so then I said, well, all these people in the room, I need to know if it's real. Is it just him saying that? Or like, do these people really mean it? Do they really mean that they want to serve the other person in front of them? Do they really mean that they're serving purpose over their own ego? Do they really mean that they're putting people above their own financial situation? Like, are they really balanced? Is it actually spiritually led? Mm-hmm. And I started talking with people, tears in their eyes, telling me their stories. And it was like, I'm home. And I think when people are looking for alternative routes, it is so nice to have community, because so many times in business or as an entrepreneur, if you're stepping out on your own, you're by yourself, and it's very difficult to navigate. Like, it's like you have to unlearn a lot, because now you're not going to be an employee. So no one's checking on you. No one's making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. You have to manage yourself. You have to lead yourself. And so many of us are not conditioned that way, because in schooling, we are conditioned, listen to the teacher, do what they say, da, 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 da. And so you have to uncondition yourself. You're literally liberating yourself. Let me tell you that. You are freeing yourself. But it's like a, caterpillar has to break down before it becomes a butterfly. Like, there is like a lot that you have to let go of. Limitations, self-limiting beliefs, your belief about money, your belief about your own ability to succeed. Like, there's so much. But in network marketing, and Asea specifically, I can't speak for the whole industry, though I think that it is out there in most companies, the same sort of mentality of growth. But in Asea, it's like this incredible soil that your seed of potential gets planted in, and then you're nurtured. Like, it's the place where you get to fail, and you get to cry, and you get to have successes, and you fall down, and but you're supported no matter what, whether you create a big business or you don't. I've done that for you and the whole team that I work with. It's like, I want to create the environment for everybody to blossom, because that then translates into, like, you're going to have better relationships. You could maybe do other businesses. Like, you're going to have the confidence to go out and tackle life, and you're going to be lit up. And like, I want to live in a world where people are lit up. That's
Yeah.
what I want, And it's like, I think this business model, being part of ASEA, turns the light on for people. It creates the environment, because if you're not around the right environment, you will get shut down, like, again and again and again and again. It takes a lot to keep coming out. But if you get around the right environment, it's like, it's just beautiful what can unfold.
Yeah.
That's what I love the most.
Like, I've been on the sidelines for the last years because I needed to unlearn some more stuff, but I didn't want to step back. I didn't want to step out of it. I was just looking through all the messages in WhatsApp, all the announcements, and Dr. Silverman is always there with with the flyers and stuff like that. Like, I could do the card that you told me, and didn't have to question you, because I've always been like plugged in but not there. And that is really nice, because, as you said, there's no one looking over your shoulder. Like, you want to run, I'm going to run with you. You want to stay, well, the space is there, it's safe. And if you want to catch up, you'll just catch up. I'll come back for you again. So it's so beautiful. You don't have that, like, you actually, maybe you don't have that in a family,
No,
you don't have that kind of support in your own family sometimes.
I often say, like, ASEA, like, is my family. Like, I call it my ASEA family. Like, today's the 4th of July. I'm going over to my ASEA family's house to hang out with them. I feel like I have tons of aunts and uncles and, like, people that genuinely care. Like, like, as an example, and it's not just people on the team, it's cross-line, which is a term in network marketing, but it's like people that are not involved with your business specifically, and the corporate staff. Like, I just went to Jackie Wexler, now Jackie Martinez, her wedding. I got to know her through ASEA. I've known her for 5-6 years now. She just got married. She met her husband through networking, trying to grow her business. He's another entrepreneur. So, like, ASEA brought her that relationship. They just had a baby, actually. But her wedding last fall, I sat next to the CEO of ASEA and his wife. He came to her wedding and he looked at me and he said, "Whenever you get married, Danielle, I'll be there." like, we're family. And they like genuinely mean it. It's not just lip service. It's like he took time out of his schedule for him and his wife to travel to another state to be there. And I see it again and again, this like this support that, I don't know, I never expected anything like it. My own family has been supportive. Some others have told me, like, get a real job, get serious. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just watch me.
Yeah. I live the dream. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
In a decade, and you'll see who's happy.
And it's been amazing. Like, it's been amazing to be a part of this. Like, not just be, just integrate it, and because of all the realizations that I've had this year, the past months, I've just noticed that I've just let the information and all of the community, because I didn't step out of it, I've just let it be there for me, as I was healing some parts of me that were preventing me from coming live and talking about the ASEA business. So that's something that you don't find. Actually, no. I don't think you find it in.
Well, or you have to pay a lot of money for it.
Or,
right? There's many coaches and whatever, but you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars to be in this environment, to be coached. And I'm like, my community and environment comes for free. My coaching is free. Like, that's part of what is beautiful about the network marketing space, about ASEA, is like, well, I'm incentivized to help you grow and win.
Yeah.
And if I can help you to grow and to win, you're going to succeed. And then I'm going to succeed. Like, I can't go to the top, quote unquote, by myself. Like, I have to do it with people. And so it's like totally an inverse of the corporate setting where we're kind of in competition, and, I don't necessarily want you to succeed because I want the next promotion. Yeah. And so there's this tension, and it's not here. Like, I would love the day that your business is larger than my business. Like, that's the goal. Right? Is say, okay, let me collapse time for you. Let me teach you the lessons that I already learned. so you can run here. But the truth of the matter is the first person you got to lead is you. And most people aren't willing to do that. But to me, it's like, this is the spiritual playground. I mean, this is why we're here. We're here to develop as people, as souls on our journey, to learn what we're capable of, to see our strengths. And you got to get in the right environment to do that. And here you earn money as you develop.
That's true.
Like, you don't have to pay somebody to develop. You're getting paid as you develop. It's just like, it just makes sense. It's what everyone's looking for. It's just that people have been
conditioned,
blinded, and whatever. We could get into like why and who and whatever's going on, but I don't like to focus on that. It's just like, wake up. I just hope that you got to wake up. You got to ask better questions. You got to look. Like, Lavinia is full of joy and happy. Why? Like, what is she doing? If you want some of that, join her. She'll show you, like, I've had people watch me for years and they're finally like, just, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand, and I've had some of my friends that went to those schools that are doing, the thing that they were supposed to do. Like, they're like, do you think I could step out like you have? And I'm like, you could, but you're going to have to let go of a lot. Like, it's not an easy road, it's worth it. It's worth it, the whole thing. I mean, life is meant to be lived, like, not just sat behind a desk and people telling you what to do. And like, I just, no, like, live your life. We don't know.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
it is. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I just like, I just want to mention, it's coming to me to say, like, the income potential. If you like, okay, so you went to medical school 6 years of your life. If someone were to dedicate half of that amount of time, right? 3 years of their life,
not even,
really understanding a business model like network marketing and getting good at the skills of connecting with people, sharing something that's incredible with them, following up with them, helping them get started on the products, helping encourage other people to step out on their own and maybe start a side business. You can get good at those skills. Like, your earning potential is far beyond anything that you can imagine right now. Like, I know people that took their annual income at a great job and made it a monthly income.
Yeah.
Like, it's like your head can't go there, So people are like, no, it's not true. It is freaking true. It's true.
Yes.
And it's just, most people fail. Most people fail at network marketing. And I don't sugarcoat that. Most people fail at it because they're not willing to put in the personal development work. But the truth of the matter is, you were here to do so much more. And once you start to tap in and you get a sense of your fire and your potential, it's like, it's all you want is for more of that to come out. It's why you've been here. Like, you're just like, I just want to keep working on myself. And boom, look at you. Like, I've watched you evolve over the last, 4 years that I've known you. Like, and it's been the biggest pleasure. Like, it is amazing to witness. And I want everyone to get that light switched on and to know, like, oh, I can. And now from here, I'm like time's passing anyway. 10 years, like, where's your business going to be? What are you going to be like if you keep doing this? Like, holy moly, world, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting the intention into that. That's why we're here today.
Exactly. And it's through helping others, right? So it's like, guys, anyone listening, if you want some of this, you need this energy, you want to be in this environment, like, reach out. This is why we're here.
Exactly.
A conversation doesn't hurt. Like, open the door, walk into the room. You can stay or you can go. Like, no one's holding you hostage.
Like, don't bite, not even through a camera.
Like, just check it out. See what your options are. Ask the right questions and don't just assume based on what someone's told you or whatever. Like, you got to question your reality sometimes. I think a lot of people are waking up to that right now. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think it's necessary.
It is. And we're here to welcome them. Whoever wants to join us. Well, this has been a delight. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. I look forward to doing more and more of these with you.
Yes. And we'll be having some more of this over the next weeks. So stay tuned. Thank you again, Danielle, and see you soon.
Of course. Bye, everybody.
Bye.